Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free,
Interior Alaska. September 2nd, Interior Alaska. Hoping to get at least most of the roof done today.
As we left off in phase 4, going into phase 5, we are working on installing the vapor barrier. End of day 2. We have all of the tongue and groove for the ceiling and the deck up and vapor barrier on one side. And that was not easy. It was a very steep roof. And trying to roll that roll, it just kept sliding down. So that was a lot of fun and very frustrating. Tomorrow's a new day. Well, as you can see and probably hear, it's raining. It's been raining, but I was able to get those up, these rafters, and it's not really a beautiful day. So that's where we're at. Despite snow, wind, rain, pouring rain, more rain, we at least have our tongue and groove ceiling on. We have a vapor barrier on one end, some rafter boards up. Just gotta do what we can. In order to install these rafter boards, I had to carry them up that ladder over to where the next one would go. And I had a ton of tools hanging off of me. I would measure to make sure that they're appropriate length apart. And then I would install the log screw into the rafter using the drill. That was difficult because I only had the purlins and the last log to drill into in order to install the rafter. As you can see, we encountered all types of weather throughout this phase of our build, which definitely made it more challenging than it already was being up on such a steep roof. So today I installed all of the rafter boards. My entire body got a workout staying up there and carrying those boards up with me and attaching them. I used a 10-inch log screw since those are 2x6 rafters, and I went directly through into the ridgepole and the purlins, and I honestly don't think it looks too bad for never having done that either. As you can tell, it cleared up, but it was windy. Once the tongue and groove vapor barrier and rafters were in place, my husband trimmed off the excess of the tongue and groove so we could install our fascia. While my husband was trimming off the excess tongue and groove, my father-in-law and I were building our door as we had no way of closing up the cabin, so that was crucial. Once my husband cut off the excess tongue and groove so that we could install the fascia board, before doing that, he used a drill to cut a circular hole for our ventilation, and then we use some hardware cloth over top of that to keep out any rodents. Let's take a closer look at the finished ventilation holes in the soffit. As you can see, that entire side is done and that hardware cloth is on to keep out any of the rodents or any little bugs or birds that might get in there, and to me it's looking mighty fine, and that was a lot of work, and I'm super grateful for my husband. So we built and installed the door this weekend. Yay! This phase of our build felt like it went on and on. It took several weekends, or so it felt, in order to get the tongue and groove on, and then the vapor barrier, and then all of the rafter boards. And after that, we have the strapping and the insulation and the blocking, and then the metal roofing. The weather was unpredictable and was not cooperative. As you heard, we had rain, we had snow, we've had endless wind, but sometimes it was beautiful and we just had to enjoy it and take in the beautiful fall colors. After another long weekend of 12-plus-hour days, we were able to get to a good stopping point where we had all of the rafter boards on. We enjoyed the beautiful views on our drive, and we were ready for the roof. Check out this upgrade to the outhouse we completed too. So now that it's starting to get dark out, we have some solar powered lights on our outhouse. It's so nice. Let's check it out. Ta-da! You saw me install the vapor barrier and the rafters. Now it's time to put in the insulation. So that was me going up there once again and cutting them to size, placing them in, and using blocking to hold it in place before we were able to move on to the strapping, which you see we were able to do that as teamwork. And here it is. It's far from perfect, but we were able to get it all complete. And now we are finally ready for the next stage to get that metal up on that roof. Woohoo! A long 12 to 14 hour day led to getting everything you see here completed with that drip edge and that metal on after doing the insulation, blocking, and everything else. While it doesn't look like a lot, it's progress in the right direction. Rest of this side is almost done. Just a little bit more. We were able to get the bulk of everything on except for the very front, which we had to install by being at the front of the purlins. We are now wrapping up day 2, approaching 12 hours of straight work on the roof, and I am finishing by installing that ridge cap by myself, hauling it up there and putting it on to get this roof done, finally. Well, it's September 17th, and we got the roof on. The roof is done, and boy, does it feel so nice. It's currently raining. There's snow in the forecast for tomorrow. See, can't see a beautiful view. It's been pretty miserable out, but we pushed through. It's 7 p.m. We started at 7 a.m. It's done.
Well, there it is. September 17th. Finally got a roof on. We started hauling stuff out to build this cabin in March. Still got a few things to do, like the windows, wood stove, but it's a relief that it no longer rains inside. Look at all this rain. The roof's already keeping out.
The roof was the last major part of this build to get done before the snow came, and we did it. We really did. We broke ground in June, and we got the roof up by mid-September. We did it.
Thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and subscribe and follow for our next adventures on Wild and Free.
Interior Alaska.